Okay, we're going to do something a little bit fun. We're going to adjust our Koni shocks here. These are good used ones, so I didn't know what they were set at. Basically, the way these get adjusted is you compress them and you feel around until it goes down a little further. Then you know that it's locked into the bottom. The shaft is locked into the bottom where the adjuster is. Then you can turn it, and it has a travel of about 1.5 turns. So what I do is, once I get it locked in, I turn it one way until it stops, making a note of where I started, and then turn it back the other way until it stops. That way you have an idea of where it actually sits in its adjustment. So first thing we're going to do, they have to be relatively vertical. It doesn't have to be 100%. My vise is a little bit high here, so I just put it at an angle so I can actually push it down. I have a little piece of copper tubing here I use to push out the bump stop. You want to check the bump stops too when you have them out. You can buy new ones. This is a little pad that goes in here. Basically protects the bottom of the bump stop. And should be able to, there's 2 holes at the top here that you can poke something down into. It's got to be something really thin though. This one's putting up a little more of a fight. I already did this shock, so that's back together. And the bump stop came out of that one a little easier. So it seems to be stuck on one side somewhere. But we'll get it. Sometimes if you get your finger up in there or a screwdriver or something and work them a little bit. You know what? We're going to get a long little screwdriver after this thing. There we go. Long, thin one. Okay. That should have made it a little bit more compliant. Maybe not. Of course, the one I decide to do the video on is the one that is going to cause us problems. But hey, it's probably more interesting than if it just, came off. So what it feels like is the bump stop is just kind of stuck in here. It's just basically a piece of really heavy-duty foam rubber. So if you get a little rust on the inside of there, it can stick. You want to be careful. You don't want to be digging into the bump stop itself because it is just kind of foam rubbery stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm getting in between the metal and the actual bump stop itself. Hopefully. It feels like that's what I'm doing. So. This one feels like it's got quite a bit of stuck area in here. Area seems to have a bit more sticky in it than the other parts. So hopefully this gets us unstuck. Well, let's see if we got it unstuck yet. Sounds like it's moving. Well, one side moved anyway. Well, it feels like it's down there pretty far. Can't seem to find it in the little hole. Oh, there we go. So these have a split in them. So you can, basically what you got to do is feed the bottom of it out on top of the shock body here. And then you can pull it down and out like that. And that's it. As you can see, it had a little rust up there. Stick a little grease or something up in there when we put it back in. Now we can do our adjustment. Push it down all the way. Turn it till you feel it drop in. And you gotta keep pressure against it. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna go clockwise. It stops right about there. That's about 3/4 of a turn. 3/4 back to where we were, going counterclockwise, half a turn, a little more than 3/4 of a turn. So it was set about halfway in, and that's about what the other one was. So what we're going to do is make it a little bit stiffer by cranking it in clockwise all the way again and then backing it out a half a turn. There we go, it's in and back out 1/2 a turn. It's probably slightly stiffer than it was set. Doesn't hurt to, while you got them out, work them back and forth a couple times. Hear that little at the end, that that's actually air in there. Which should probably do this with it straight up. Alright, why don't we do that? Since we can. There, that's more straighter. That's that part. Get a little dab of grease. You know, not a lot or anything, but you'll get a little lube on this thing just to keep it from sticking. You don't want to like slather it on there or anything. I'm just putting a coating of it, just kind of taking the dabs that I just took and working them in. Okay. Get it back on here. Put the little protector back in here. Got it all dirty now. Okay. Some of this grease off my hands, that might make it a little easier. There you go. That shock is done. Ready to go back on the car. Done.